Helping Seniors Television, all about improving quality of life for seniors. If you're a senior, know a senior, or plan to be a senior, then this show is for you. It's all about helping you develop your own aging plan so you can age actively and with dignity. Helping Seniors Television from the Helping Seniors Network of information, education, and resources. First up on Helping Seniors TV, a look at the Knowledge College for Aging's Parade of Homes Senior Living Edition. Our guests on this segment are Troy Denault, who heads up the Parade of Homes and is an experienced senior living placement expert, as well as Knowledge College for Aging professor, and Rob Dixon, a professional guardian and case manager who is the president and founder of the Knowledge College for Aging. Filmed on location at the Helping Seniors Mega Senior Expo at the Melbourne Auditorium, let's join the discussion.
I'm Kerry Fink, sitting in for Joe Steckler on the Helping Seniors Network television program. And what an exciting day this is. We're actually live. We're on location at the 2016 Mega Senior Expo. It's being held here at the Melbourne Auditorium. There must be like 70 different vendor tables. There are hundreds and hundreds of people in the building walking around getting good information. We're here with our friends from Senior Scene magazine, helping seniors. We have both our table and giving out information about helping seniors and our senior information hotline. So it's a great day here, but one of the nicest things we're able to do is be filming television here on location. And today we have some guests from the Knowledge College of Aging. And we're going to explain a little bit more what that's all about. We actually have the founder and academic dean of the Knowledge College of Aging with us. His name is Rob Dixon. And also we have Troy Denault, who is no stranger to senior matters. He has a company called Soder LLC, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But our focus is going to be on a unique offering of the Knowledge College of Aging, and that is called the Parade of Homes Senior Living Edition. So welcome, guys. How you doing today?
Very good.
Well,
So, Rob, for those who may not be familiar with Knowledge College, give us sort of like the Reader's Digest, like what is it and why would somebody be interested in it?
Well, Knowledge College is a group of professionals that are very good at what they do. It covers a wide range of topics that are confronting the senior community, and we're all Christians, which is also an added bonus. And the purpose is to give information away to caregivers, to children, to neighbors, to churches, as well as companies, to say this is the different aging issues that one might be dealing with, and here are some solutions.
And you do this really via, I guess, sort of the cornerstone is this 3-hour seminar where you have a number of people who come together as professors and bring like different aspects of the aging plan. And Joe Steckler, who is our president and founder of Helping Seniors, he's always had this mandate about helping people age with dignity and helping them create an aging plan that allows them to do so. And what I think resonates so much about Knowledge College is that's what you're doing. You're helping people get ahead of that aging curve and to work that. And Troy, you have a unique perspective on this part because of the work that you do helping match people to the correct living environment. What is your motivation and what do you hope that you are accomplishing as being part of the team for Knowledge College?
Well, the intent just is in being in this industry for as long as we've all been a part of it, we see that the common factor involved is that people wait for a crisis to happen before they start to look for information, and at that point a lot of times your emotions have taken over. Versus I think in our past we've determined that if we've put a logical plan together, if we've put and we've done research and we've set a course of action, that we normally come to a better outcome. So what the Knowledge College is kind of has allowed all of us to do is to help people to be proactive when it comes to the aging process, because it is kind of a faux pas or something that people don't really on a traditional weekend really do a lot of research in there too.
Right, and this is a free service, right? This is
Correct.
You don't charge people for this, and it's not a commercial. What you're really doing is getting information out, right? I mean, what was your motivation behind pulling that together in just that way?
Right, well, and the phrase that I've heard often is it doesn't have to be this way, and that's been such a challenge because Troy also, and that's why I've asked him to be a part, because he's so incredible and he's got a passion like I do and a lot of knowledge, a lot of contacts, is we usually step into situations that are already very bad. People are being exploited, neglected, abused, and so we have to come in and pick up the pieces. And so it was our motivation to go in ahead of time to say, let's plan accordingly ahead of time, and then when something happens, you'll know exactly what to do.
So there's you guys do in fact, you have a very big one coming up in February of 2017, where your partner, Health First, has asked you to put together this big event where we're actually going to do that in I think the Hilton Rialto. It's February 18th, 2017.
That's correct.
And you're going to have several hundred people there, full house of professors, and you're really going to present this. And it's an exciting thing because obviously they have a mandate to get information out, just like what we're all in the same business on it. But you do several things beyond that. You do these intensives, and particularly I want to spend some time on the topic of Parade of Homes senior living style. What is that?
Well, the Parade of Homes a lot of times is specifically geared around the assisted living industry. Assisted living is an industry that not a lot of people do a lot of research into because they have the picture in their mind of what their parents went through or what their grandparents went through, of the white tile floors, the off-white walls with the guardrail that's running down a long hallway with everybody slunched over in a wheelchair just kind of waiting to die. It's very scary. And that's very different than the reality of things as the industry sits today. So the Parade of Homes is just, again, with the Knowledge College being about empowering people with information. This isn't a commercial. It's not trying to sell a good or service. What it's about is about giving information to the community so that they can then digest it and start to formulate a plan. With this Parade of Homes, specifically around assisted livings, what we've done is create an opportunity that's not there's no obligation, there's no hidden agenda, they're not trying to sell anything. It's just about getting information into their hands as to what a true assisted living looks like today. And then also the different types, like the one that's going to be coming up here this weekend is we're going to an assisted living that's kind of like a castle. It's like a very large community right on the river, very gorgeous chandeliers, grand piano. It's very different than the mindset of what a lot of people have today as to what assisted living is. And then there's another option that maybe people just don't want that big, huge condo style living. Maybe they want a more family style, more home centered, because people grow up in their homes. They raise their family in a home, and that's where they're comfortable. And they have assisted living types that have 4 or 5 residents that max out the house. So we're going to an example of that so that people can feel the warmth of one versus the activity and socialization and everything that the largers provide. And then the third component is about that we're going to go to a memory care community. The memory care community, a state-of-the-art one, because a lot of times when people say memory care, they go, oh, and it's kind of one of those pieces that, again, it's very scary. And the idea is with the Parade of Homes is just to break that psychology, just so that they can understand what the truth is of the industry today versus what it was yesterday. That's kind of it in a nutshell.
Yeah, I heard you once say, I heard Troy once say that no one just wakes up on a random Saturday morning and says, what are we going to do today? Oh, let's go look at, it always seems to be a crisis moment when you actually say, let's go see this. So tell me, Rob, describe what actually happens. It's a free thing, right, to go on the parade. Tell us what the actual Parade of Homes means, like down to getting on the bus and all of that.
Yes, sir. Well, we'll be meeting this coming Saturday, November 19th. At Troy's office right off of Palm Bay Road, and we'll be getting into buses provided to us by a couple of the senior living communities, and then we'll be driving from there over to Riverview, and we'll be entertained a little bit on the way over, do some singing to kind of get the adrenaline flowing, and then Riverview is going to feed us wonderful food. They do a wonderful job at that. It's right on the river. There's 8 floors, I think, and beautiful.
This is all complimentary.
All complimentary. There's no charge, and
it's going to be.
And it's not a sales pitch.
Right.
It's look at the facility, or I should say the community. From there, we'll go to a small group home. It's a 5-bedroom house located in Palm Bay. It's a licensed facility with the state of Florida, and we'll do the same there. And then from there, we go to Inspired Living. Again, all riding the bus from point to point. And we'll have Jody Williams will be there. She's a music therapist, and she'll be singing. She'll be entertaining us and also teaching us about how to touch seniors. And so we'll be laughing, singing, eating good food, and learning about the different options available. And then we'll be returning everyone back, I'd say somewhere between 12 and 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And so I think we'll have a wonderful time and a lot of information.
So it is really kind of a self-contained 3-hour tour, and people should not be afraid of going on it, because it's not like somebody's going to say, well, it's not, people go to timeshare things and, okay, this is not like that, right?
No, we had gone in, and as we organized this event, the one specific component in talking to their marketing teams was just that look, we're not here to sell your logo or your building. We're here to empower information onto the community as they come through. And it's just to let them know the why are there separate dining rooms? Why do you have a gym here? Why do you have the programming that you have in place? What is your license type and what can you handle? Because a lot of times it's just something that simple. A lot of families believe that even if somebody has some incontinence, that they are not able to go into assisted living, and that is completely false. So it's just one of those pieces that it's about them expressing what it is their program is, not so much their community, but what they do, and then going to a small group home and what her programming is and what she does and what the license that
it's
through
really
the state
education.
affords. That's the whole 100% the purpose. That's correct.
See, that's the whole thing that Joe has been so strong about, is that people need to get information. That's why he writes the articles tirelessly. He's in every publication just about in Brevard County. He does the radio program every week on the WMEL and has for like 16 years. That's why we do these television programs 3 times a day on Space Coast Government TV, and then we make them available on the Helping Seniors YouTube channel, because so often when we get calls to the Senior Information Hotline, as you know, people are in a state of crisis and they're really trying to get information. And what you're doing as Knowledge College for Aging is you're not in a selling position, you're in an informing position. And so when you put together these programs, and I'm talking about the whole thing, from Parade of Homes to the actual seminars, what's the number one kind of guiding principle that you want to impart to people who are attending and participating?
Well, it's a 3.5 hour seminar. We do have DVDs for sale afterwards if they want to buy and take it home to review it again. And what I want them to take away is it doesn't have to be this way, that if they fail to plan, did I say that right? If they fail to plan, then plan on failing. That's what Troy has said. I like that. And that, something as simple as just learning. So coming away with a sense of comfort, of peace, and also knowing that the abnormal feelings that one might have, we all have those abnormal feelings of confusion, anger towards bitterness, and so it's gaining a peace of mind, coming away empowered with knowledge.
We have about a half a minute left, and so I just wanted to ask you, Troy, who should go on a Parade of Homes tour for the Knowledge College? What kind of people would you think would benefit from that?
Well, I would say the people that would benefit would be the adult child. If you have parents that are starting to decline, they're living at home, they're still okay, everything is all right, but dementia, a diagnosis has been had. It is a progressive disease, so at least getting a plan in place, or at least understanding the industry. I would also say that a couple living independently, that and they're navigating, one is the caregiver for the other, and they're navigating a storm right now, and they're making do, but it's just to explore the information, because unfortunately, and Rob can attest to this too, I get a lot of calls from DCF and the emergency rooms when those have not happened and people have not taken a look, and then your choices are much more limited. So it's just those that are at a precipice.
It's a way to get ahead of the aging curve.
Curve.
That's good.
That's it.
Rob and Troy, thank you for being here. It's an exciting time of good information for seniors, and thank you for joining us today.
Next up on Helping Seniors TV, more on the Knowledge College for Aging's Parade of Homes Senior Living Edition. Our guests on this segment are Troy Denault, who heads up the Parade of Homes and is an experienced senior living placement expert, as well as Knowledge College for Aging professor, and Dana Venditti, who is an expert on in-home care and also a Knowledge College professor. Filmed on location at the Helping Seniors Mega Senior Expo at the Melbourne Auditorium, let's join the discussion.
I'm Kerry Fink, and I'm here for Joe Steckler, who is the host of Helping Seniors Network Television. And we're having a great day. We're on location here at the 2016 Mega Super Expo that's happening at the Melbourne Auditorium. And I mean, there are hundreds of people, if not thousands of people, walking around visiting with like 70 vendors who are out here. There's all kinds of information being given out. Helping Seniors is on location. We have a table here. People are stopping by. They're learning about the Helping Seniors information line, which is a great resource so people can get the help they need and get connected to resources. Helping Seniors is a charity service that is dedicated to improving the life of seniors. It's all about aging with dignity, and as our founder and president, Joe Steckler, talks about, you've got to have an aging plan that allows you to do that, that gets you ahead of that aging curve. And so we're very pleased to have with us today guests from the Knowledge College of Aging. And specifically, we're going to talk about one of the programs that Knowledge College of Aging does called the Parade of Homes. And so we're going to get into all of that. What is a Knowledge College and what is a Parade of Homes? But let me introduce my guest first. My guest is Troy Denault, who is principal with Soter LLC. We'll talk a little about that. I may be mispronouncing it. Soter, I think you call it.
Yes,
and that's a firm that is very, very much ingrained in helping seniors get to the right kind of a living situation based on their circumstances. And our other guest is Dana Venditti, who is with the Visiting Home Care. And you are an expert at helping people manage aging process both at home and I imagine also on location from time to time. So we're going to talk about all that, but let me begin with you, Troy, by asking the question, what is the Knowledge College of Aging?
Well, the Knowledge College of Aging is just a group of professionals, like-minded professionals that have worked in the senior environment for a number of years and just have all fallen on the same component of when the emergency has struck, that's when we're thrust into it, and only if we had been able to get to them a little bit sooner. Only if they had known so that they had more options and more choices for their family. The Knowledge College, we cover a wide range from home care to living options, to guardianship, to financial planning, to real estate, to a lot of the questions that seniors have when things start to happen as the aging process continues forward and we're in our home and we're in our isolated environment and we don't want to say too much because we don't want to get put in a home, and just the fear that's involved is just trying to empower them with information so that they can take that and kind of move forward with a plan for their individual family. I would say in a nutshell, that's what the Knowledge College is about.
So Dana, when you're involved in the Knowledge College for Aging, it's basically it begins with a 3-hour seminar where you guys come together. Tell people what they expect when they come to one of these events.
For some people, it could be a little overwhelming because you're going to receive so much information, but you do have to start somewhere, especially if this is the first time you've been exposed to the aging process and all the things you may have to deal with through the aging process. I think, too, the whole point of the Knowledge College is bringing you the information. And if it is new to you, sometimes you don't even know what questions to ask. So this is really going to lay a foundation for those who haven't been exposed, and for those who have maybe been through it with mom, but with dad, and maybe it's a completely different situation. It's keeping also the information relevant. What's the most current information out there on this wide variety of topics.
And I guess it does change in a very fast way. And
Yes.
so I think the bedrock of it is people come out. I know you guys are doing a big event in February, combining that Health First has asked you to organize a very big Knowledge College for Aging event here in Melbourne, where you're going to be talking to several hundred people who will be packed out at the Hilton Rialto. But there the object is they're going to come in for that 3-hour session, get educated on, I guess, level 1 kind of basics, things that are good to
From
know.
like 10,000 feet.
Right.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
you move to what you call these intensives, which are like 1-hour training courses. And then there's an opportunity as people become more educated on specific topics. Like then you move to this concept of Parade of Homes. Now, what's a Parade of Homes?
The Parade of Homes is just simply, it's shedding light on the assisted living industry in general. That's it. It is one of those industries that people don't have a lot of understanding about. What is assisted living versus what is a nursing home? They are different. And so it's just shedding light as to the industry in general, from a larger, major community with 150 residents to a smaller home that has, 5 residents at a maximum. And then memory care communities. A lot of times with memory care communities, there's such a stigma or a fear around them, and just shedding light on what the industry looks like today versus what it looked like 20 years ago when your parents or your grandparents went through it, how it's changed. And as she said, just keeping it relevant and what is current and what's in our own Brevard County backyard.
Yeah, so it almost sounds like a joke, a 3-hour tour, but you know, Dana, tell us a little bit about how the tour works. They meet up, they get on a bus, they're going. It's not a sales pitch at all. It's an educational. Tell us a little bit about what people would expect when they actually go on this tour.
I think for those who haven't been exposed to assisted living, it's going to give them 3 very different options to look at. And in assisted living or even senior care in general, there are so many options. And it helps people to see, to be exposed to facilities, to know what different facilities offer. Some offer full apartments with full kitchens. Some offer smaller, might have a refrigerator in it, but not a full kitchen. And then there is the smaller, a 6-bed one that offers more of the home environment. So for the family that's looking to place mom or dad in assisted living, I think it opens their eyes to see there are so many different options available. And then they can start to figure out what is going to be the best fit for my parent, not only now, but maybe even as they progress through the aging process.
You know, and that brings up the question, I don't know if it's a good way to put it, but I've always thought that this whole process, whether you're the adult child of an aging parent or maybe even it's your spouse we're talking about, but it's really on-the-job training because you really don't know what you're running into until you're running into that situation. So I imagine one of the things both of you guys are dealing with from time to time is helping people understand where their loved ones are in the process. Can they stay at home safely? Do they need to look at options? How do you maybe let me start with you, Troy, on that. How do you approach a family and what are the questions and how do you help them, guide them through this whole process?
Well, it depends at which stage they come into contact with me. So that would be a first piece. But in going into the home environment, some obvious pieces are we normally send in a clinician. We send in a nurse or an occupational therapist to be able to do a home safety evaluation. To say, maybe if we were to remove this rug, then that fall risk goes away. Or if we fix the sidewalk that's coming up to the house, that would help reduce a fall risk as well. There are lots of different components that can be held in the home to try to keep somebody there at home, but there does come a point that staying at home is no longer the best or most beneficial. It's not a safe environment anymore, and that's where a professional like a nurse or an occupational therapist will be able to define that and at least give some direction, because a lot of times with home care we can try to help to keep people at home, but it is one that when it gets to a line, when a dementia gets too far down the road, or if a parent has had multiple silver alerts called out on them where they've gone out driving and lost where home is, those type of things where I'm independent, I can cook for myself, I can clean, I can do these types of things, but there are some fundamental pieces that are putting you at risk, and so that's where professionals coming in to do the assessment, I say, would be a place to start.
Yeah. One of the things Joe Steckler, our founder and president, has really been strongly about is helping people understand the aging process, and again, his word from the beginning has been about keeping it so that you make an aging plan and you sort of know how to progress down these various paths. Imagine, Dana, particularly in what you do, you're helping people work through that process because you're actually in the home with them, and then you see the opportunities or the moments when something else needs to take place. How do you work with families? I guess it's similar, but talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Everybody has the choice to stay at home and age in place. And you can stay at home till you take your last breath, regardless of the level of your care, but you have to be able to afford to pay for that. And in my experience, when it becomes cost prohibitive is when somebody needs around-the-clock care. If mom can be independent or left home alone at night and she needs help during the day or help bathing and she's no longer driving, home care can provide that. Some issues that may come up is medication. Is she not taking medication properly, or is the caregiver finding pills on the floor? Does it appear mom's not eating? Is she wearing dirty clothes? So you can bring all of that into the home and you can age in place and stay there, but it does become cost prohibitive when you need round-the-clock care. Home care is great when there's out-of-town family because it is eyes and ears to help alert them. And I think home care also when you have a situation where the senior wants to stay at home, but maybe the out-of-town family really wants them to go to assisted living. Home care can step in the interim. It also gets mom or dad used to having assistance. And for many, it's a process. You got to get them from mentally here, being reluctant to going to a facility, and bringing them over to where they're open to it.
So that's really one of the points I think about the Knowledge College and what you hope to accomplish with the Parade of Homes, isn't it? Is that you're opening people to have the information and the things that will help them as they start to confront this, and they will understand. Like I think Troy, you had mentioned, a lot of people walk around with a misconception of a nursing home of 50 years ago or something, and that's what's been in their mind, and they really need to step out onto the Parade of Homes. It's a free service, right? Talk a little bit about how somebody gets involved in it.
The Parade of Homes, well, this one is actually the one that is happening here this weekend is sold out. So in this one, getting involved will be difficult. But the following one in February, to get involved, I would say, number one, come to the event. Come to our Knowledge College event, be a piece of it, and then you will learn a lot of the details as to when that next Parade of Homes event will happen. We'll be coordinating with Health First to see where in the county we want to look, either central or north. But it's very simple. It's just reaching out to us, letting us know that you would like to take part, that you'd like to have a seat on that bus, and you're in. It's that simple. There really is no other obligation or red tape you've got to get through.
Yeah, I wanted to be clear about that because, you know, helping seniors is all about information, and so you guys are coming together, even though you're all very much expert in the senior business, and that is what you guys do. Everybody, including the homes on the Parade of Homes, they're not. This isn't like, let me just sell you on, you know, here's the contract. This is about getting information to everybody. Is that right?
Yes, and I think the Knowledge College as well, it's putting people ahead of a crisis, and it allows you to see what options there are and be comfortable with what option would be the best fit for you beforehand.
So we got about 30 seconds left. Troy, who should get involved in Knowledge College? What kind of person?
I would say an adult child that has aging parents that are living independently, and they're starting to notice a few things that are starting to change within, and they're concerned. That would be one. I would also say that if you are a husband or a wife that is a caregiver of your significant other, to at least go to the event so that you can be empowered with information, because God forbid lightning strike you and something were to happen, what is going to happen to your loved one? So it's just getting those pieces to understanding what the puzzle looks like on the table and then addressing it step by step.
And Knowledge College is a free, low pressure way to just get started with that.
That's right.
We're out of time, but I want to thank you, Troy and Dana, for being with us today.
I'm Joe Steckler. Thank you for joining our program today. I'd like to remind you that our senior information line is available to you at 321-473-7770. There you can get help and direction that could be helpful for your specific situation or circumstances. The work of helping seniors is very important, but we can't do it alone. That is why our sponsors here in Brevard County are so important. I'd like to thank our many area sponsors, businesses and medical providers who support the mission of helping seniors that help us carry the cost of our media efforts. If you'd like to join us either as a business partner or simply donate as an individual, we would welcome your call at 321-473-7770. You are always welcome to visit our website at www.helpingseniorsofbrevard.org. Thanks so much for your help. It does make a difference.